we are doing in this section, it is Brahma Vidya Upasana. This Brahma Vidya Upasana, when it is done, it is supposed to make the mind subtle. The mind already has to arrive at this absolute conviction of Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. It is very important, through proper understanding, through proper living, we discipline our mind. The only realm of karma is to prepare this mind properly, so the mind can, up to an extent, declutch from the pluralistic world. Yes, it is a world, but it is a world Jagat Mithya. Mithyatva Bhavana has to be continuously entertained with the understanding that Brahman is Satyam. An exclusive time has to be given to incubate the thought that Brahman is real. And the incubation of that thought that Brahman is real, that I am the absolute reality, that is called Nirguna Upasana. And this Nirguna Upasana, that Brahman is real, that incubation leads to one thought, and that one thought is called Akhanda Akara Vritti. It is still a thought of Brahman, it is not Brahman, because as long as we are doing the action of Nididhyasan, we are still again in the realm of verbs. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasan. This is Sakshat Mokshasya Eka Karanam. I have to engage into this. It is still a Pravrutti Lakshana, but Nivrutti from the Jagat and Pravrutti towards Brahma Vidya Abhyas. Meaning systematic removal from the world by proper understanding. And that's why the initial sections are so important. We have to understand the cause of creation, come out of it, see the futility of it, not with hatred, but we gain a greater appreciation and love for it, that whatever things are, they are fine the way they are, but now I have a goal, and that is Brahma Satyam. That is why Brahma Satyam Jagad Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha, that this Jiva is none other than Brahman. Now it is a thought, but I have to incubate this thought, I have to ripen this thought, and that abhyas is now given systematic approval of this idea at the level of our mind. We hold on to it, the buddhi and the mind, they enter within. So it is a nivrutti from the world, but pravrutti towards Brahman. Pravrutti is still there, meaning I am still doing the action of going towards it. These are very important, these words. I'm not playing with them, but there is no other way to explain. Action is there, but it's a different type of action. This action is for the removal of the notion that I am separate from Brahman. So that one thought, akhanda akara vritti, one thought of absolute. Many thoughts were taken into few thoughts. Then few thoughts are taken into one thought. And that one thought is dissolved into no thoughts. And the state of thoughtlessness is abidance. So that one thought now, slowly, all the thoughts are going towards this one, and this section deals with that. So we saw in the first avihi sannihitam guhacharam nam mahatpadam atra etat samarpitam ejat prana nimishascha yat yat etat janatah sadasad varenyam param vijnanad yad varishtham prajanam. Go inward, go into the very cave of the intellect, the hrudi guhayam, the very cave of your heart. Take some time and with effort converge your mind to this one thought, I am. And what are all those things? We saw mahat, padam, everything is samarpitam, ejat, that which is the one which moves, the one which does not move, prana nimishacha, that which is the one devoid of breath, yet at the same time it is the very pranic shakti of the whole universe. In that way, all these things, all the contradictions are removed, and that is Brahma Abhyas. Yad archimat, yad anubhya anuhu. So now these are all the words are just definitions, but they have to be churned within, and the churning of these words within itself becomes the cause of making the antakarana subtle. So all that is what this is. Yat archimat, that which is luminous. Anubhyaha, it is subtler than the subtlest. Now the buddhi cannot understand it. It will say, yes, I have understood what subtle is, but as long as it says, yes, I have understood it, no, it has not understood it. It is the big. When it says, yes, it is very big, no, we have not understood very big. We have to silence the intellect into this bigness, big. We have to silence the intellect into smaller than the smallest. And it is just presence, awareness. And we have to allow this buddhi to just become one with it. Yasmin lokaha nihita lokinascha tad etadaksharam brahma sa pranas taduvang manat tad etat satyam amrutam tad vedavyam somya. All those things we saw. We'll continue. Now this is Omkar Upasana. This is a very important mantra 3 and 4. These are often quoted mantras for the Brahma Vidya Abhyas. These are very important. Dhanur gruhitva upanishadam mahastram sharam hyupasa nishitam sandayita ayam yatad bhagavatena cetasa Lakshyam tadevaksharam somya viddhi. This is a very beautiful analogy of Omkara Upasana, and take this Omkar is what the teacher is saying. Use the Om and the sound symbol that we see. Om is an indicator, it is a lakshya, it is an indicator of that absolute. Again, I am using the word state. It is not a state, but it is only a state with respect to Jagrat Swapna Avastha, the waking state, the dream state, the deep sleep state. These are all called the states because one is available to us at a given point in time. We have to renounce the waking to enter the dream. We have to renounce the dream to enter the deep. So somebody may say that we have to renounce the waking, the dream, the deep to enter into Turiya. It is not like that. It is called fourth because it is other than the three, but the fourth is the actual support of all of them. So in the midst of Jagrat Avastha, I am ever awakened to the Turiya. In that way, it is said the fourth. Mundaka Upanishad deals exclusively with this. Om, Omkar. What is this? A, U, Ma. And with that Omkar, flood the inner world of thoughts with the presence of this awareness, consciousness, which is referred to as Turiya, the fourth, the Omkar. So over here that Omkar is taken. So what is it? Dhanur gruhitva aupanishadam mahastram. Aupanishadam, born out of the Upanishads. Born out of the Upanishad, this Mahastram, a great weapon. And what is this great weapon born out of this Upanishad? It is none other than Om. Omkar is the Maha Mantra declared by all Upanishads. So, Dhanuhu Gruhitva, take the bow. Gruhitva, having taken the bow provided, furnished by the Upanishad. Upanishadam Mahastram. So, Dhanuhu Iva Asanam. You use the support of this bow. And taking that, Gruhitva Adau Upanishadam Upanishatsu Bhavam Prasiddham, the one which is famous in the Upanishads, Mahastram Mahachatad Astram Cha Mahastram Dhanuhu Tasmin Sharam. So you take this great weapon provided by the Upanishads, and on this bow provided by the Upanishad, you Dhanuhu Tasmin Sharam, you place an arrow on top of it. Sharam Hyupasa Nishitam Sandayita Kim Vishishtam Ityaha Upasa Nishitam Santata Bidhyayena Tanuhu Krutam Samskrutyam Ityeta. What Shankaracharya ji is saying, you approach these Upanishads having studied the preliminary textbooks, having purified the mind, pick up the upasana now, having made this mind single pointed. The single pointed mind is to be taken, and that mind is to be placed on this great bow of Omkar. So that Om is the bow and Sharam, that arrow which is placed with great agility, with great presence of mind. I am not shaking. If I shake the bow too much, the arrow will end up in so many different places. So you place the arrow of the mind, hold the bow very steadily, and that is to make sure. The symbolism behind that is the mind, once it is brought to this Brahma Vidya, that mind should not vibrate, the mind should not move. And what is the movement of the mind? Thoughts. Make sure that you put all efforts to remove the unwanted thoughts. So many people say, what is the best time to meditate? Well, the best time to meditate is when mind is the freshest and when the mind has the least thought. And the mind has the least thoughts in the morning hours, the Brahma Vidya Samay, Brahma Muhurtam. At that time, the mind has had enough rest, so you keep this mind steady, place it on the bow of Omkar, Omkar, flood the mind with knowledge. What is this? Ma, I'm renouncing all these things, I'm turning away, and that is what is Dhyanena Tanukrutam, the body seated in a position, Samskrutyamityeta. The physical body is pure, the mind is pure, the mind has been educated about this Akshar Brahman, and that mind Sandhayita, Sandhanam Kuryat, continuously take the mind towards that Om, Om, Om. Sandhaya cha ayamya akrushya sa indriyam antakarana swa vishayad vinivartya laksha eva avarjitam. Over here Shankaracharya ji is saying, keep your goal towards, just like the one who shoots the arrow, the eye is focused on the bull's eye, and the idea is to unite this arrow with that bull's eye, and with great agility one has to pull on the string and keep the bow steady. There should not be any movement, and when the lakshya, the eye is on the lakshya, you release it. And once we release it, there is no coming back. The destiny of the arrow is fixed once we release it. And over here the upasana is, you steady your mind with the concepts of Brahman. Again, it is still a concept. It is still a word understanding, and with that word understanding you unite this mind. Lakshyam ayamya, meaning pull the string with the goal in mind. Antakaranam svavishayad vinivratya turning the mind's attention away from all the sense objects. Now the mind is focused on that. Laksha eva avarjitam. Now the mind is focused on this goal and goal alone. Over here, krutvetyarthaha. You do this is, you have to do this as an upasana. Again, it is doing, but it is the doing to make sure that that process, that activity completely takes the arrow of the mind, and when that arrow is united with bull's eye, the arrow becomes one with the target. In the same way, allow this mind, doing is there, and the doing is only until it is released, and when the arrow becomes one with the bull's eye, one doesn't have to do anything. We have scored. We have reached the goal. And that is the upasana, the Omkar upasana. The example of this archery is taken, that Om, 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 having renounced all mantras, and now the Omkar, Omkar, which is the highest mantra provided by the Upanishad. And that is why Upanishadam Mahastram, this great astra provided, weapon provided by the Vedas, provided by the Upanishad, and it is exclusive Om, Om, Om. But to arrive at Om, I have to know what this Omkar is. So the previous one said it is unborn, it is timeless, it is avyakta. So you are looking at the bullseye. But what is the bullseye? Unmanifest. What is the bullseye? Nitya. What is the bullseye? Anuhu, smaller than the smallest. What is the bullseye? Mahato Mahiyan, greater than the greatest. So, this example has limitations. Please don't look for a Brahman. There is no such thing as looking for Brahman. In the process of looking for it, meaning trying to know it as a concept, when the arrow is released, the concepts are released. That is what is meant. And when that arrow becomes one with it, it becomes one with Nirgun Nirakar, nameless, formless presence. And this nameless, formless presence, bull's eye, it is all pervading. So the example has limitations. Please don't think too much into the example that there will be a bullseye. That the very center where the arrow is to be released, that is called Tikshna Buddhi. That bull's eye is called the mind converging to one thought. It is still a thought. And that Sukshma, Tikshna Buddhi, that one steady thought, there comes a point in time that one steady thought, the thought itself blasts. And that blasting of the thought is the thoughtlessness. That mind, buddhi, becomes one with the Absolute. And that is the union with the bullseye. That is what is talked about over here. Nahi haste neva danusha ayam yam iha sambhavati. Tad Bhagavatena. Again Shankaracharya just says, please don't think that you have to pick up some bow in your hand and then there will be a lakshya and all those things. It is an example. And this example has limitations, but the steadiness which is required to release that arrow is what is taken over here, that with that steadiness keep the akhanda akara vritti. All our effort should be in keeping this one thought of Brahman. Until when? Until you stop asking this question. If we are asking the question, Swamiji, how long should I keep this one thought? I keep it until this question drops, because the one who is questioning, that questioner is still in the duality, and we have to be beyond the duality in this nirguna nirakar, and that when we reach that, there is no question. So until the questioning stops, a teacher cannot answer that question. How long? Well, it depends how much time and effort we have spent in purifying the mind and the intellect. Some people, by listening, Shravana matrena jnanam bhavati. Some people, they have to reflect, lot of doubts, some people, no doubts. But prarabdha requires nididhyasan, not one lifetime. Lives. What to do? Prarabdha. And they have to exhaust, they have to even enjoy that. And when this whole pressure of prarabdha is over, at that time, it just happens. The released arrow becomes one. So our effort should take us towards this portion where we keep our mind steady at this akhandakara vritti. If akhandakara vritti dawns, that itself is a bhagya. Then it is just matter of finishing few things here and there, and it will arrive. Because if the bhagya is there for the mind to quieten and for the mind to have this akhandakara vritti dawn and come over there, that itself is great. Ayamya tad bhagavatena chetasa. See again, bhagavate tasmin brahmani akshare. We have a whole Puran called Bhagavat Mahapuran. What is Bhagavat? Born out of Bhagavan is called Bhagavat, meaning that Bhagavat Mahapuran is a katha of all the devotees of Bhagavan. So this person has become a Mahabhagavata. Bhagya is required to reach Nirguna Nirakar. So the student over here is referred to Bhagavata. That great Bhagya, the one who has, and that Bhagya is born out of where? Bhagavan itself. Who else is the Bhagya born out of? So that great Bhagya, fortune born out of Bhagavan itself. And who is this Bhagavata Samskrutya? He is a great person who has purified themselves. You know, the Parikshit ji who presided over kingdom, but didn't have much attachment. The minute he was said, you have 7 days, he just walked out. Janmejay, you take over, whatever you want to do, you do. And 7 days he made sure Shukdev ji sat over there, who would not even remain in one place. It is said that he would stay in one place for 3 muhurtas, not more than that. And he would keep on moving. And Parikshit ji, deep Nididhyasan, he kept Shukdev ji over there for 7 days until he reached that last joining of the Nirguna Nirakar, the Mukti Skand, until it was over. He reached that Param Mukti. That's why it is always said over here, Tad Bhagavatena Tasmin Brahmani Akshare Lakshye Bhavana Bhava Tadgatena Chetasa Laksham Tadeva Yathokta Lakshanam Aksharam He Somya Viddhi. Yathokta Lakshanena. Over here he is saying, as spoken of in the previous sections about the Swarupa Lakshana of Brahman. So he is not repeating over here all that was talked about up to here. This Nirgun, Nirakar, even in the first section that we saw over there, Yattad Adreshyam Agrahyam Agotram Avarnam Tadapanipadam Achakshushrotram Tadapanipadam Nityam Vibhum Sarvagatam Susukshmam Yad Bhutayoni Paripashyanti Dhiraha. All these mantras, when we memorize upon it, when we memorize them and then when we meditate upon it, that is the upasana talked about over here. Yattad Adreshyam. So then, what is that? Adreshyam. It is not seen. So in this upasana, I am not looking for a bullseye. We will never find a bullseye. If you look for a bullseye, Adreshyam, Agrahyam. It is not something for transaction. So it is dissolving the mind into it. That is what is meant by Akshare, Lakshye, Bhavana, Bhava Tadgatena Chetasa. In these concepts, in these ideas, understanding, and these ideas, concepts, what are they? The Swarupa Lakshana of Bhagavan, of this Brahman, this Chetasa, mind being dissolved in it. Aksharam Somya Viddhi, you please come to know. Yaduktam Danuhu Adi Taduchyate. Again continuing the same simile. Pranavo Dhanusharo Hyatma Brahma Tat Lakshamuchyate Apramattena Vedavyam Sharavat Tanmayo Bhavet. So again, the simile of grabbing the Omkar bow born out of the Upanishads, may one dissolve one's own mind into that absolute. So that same example is taken, Pranavaha Dhanuhu. So let the Omkar be the bow. Sharo, Hi Atma, and what is this? Yatha Ishu Asanam Lakshye Sharasya Pravesha Karanam. So, what is this Sharo Hi Atma? That is the Jiva, the Jiva Bhavana. Where is this Jiva Bhavana? Jiva Bhavana is in our mind. Wherever the mind is, the Jiva is. So Sharaha Hi Atma, this arrow is the Atma. Which Atma? The lower. So over here it is said Sopadika. Meaning the one which is with the Upadhi. One which is with the limited adjunct. What limited adjunct? With the body. There is a gross Upadhi of the body. There is a subtle Upadhi of the Manabuddhi Chitta Hankar. Antakarana. That is also Upadhi. Then there is a Karana Upadhi. What is the Karana Upadhi? This is Vasanamaya Kosh. So we have all these three: Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. These are the Upadhis of the Jiva. So gather the physical body, quieten it. Gather the subtle body, quieten it. And in the Karana Sharira, nobilize your vasanas as much as you can. That with effort, try to hold on to good thoughts. Our Gurudev says, reduce the quantity of thoughts and improve the quality of thoughts. That is taking care of the Karana Sharira. So with this, gathering the proper Upadhi, the physical body, that's why the physical body also has to support. All of a sudden at the age of 84 I decided, chalo, we will do meditation. But we have not done any meditation till then. What will that physical body do? Poor thing. So slowly it has to be trained. Mind also, it has to be trained. It takes years to train the mind. The earlier we start, the better it is. 55 years a person has smoked and they want to just give up smoking. So difficult. I mean, even our habits are difficult to give up. Then what to talk of giving up ideas and concepts and likes and dislikes. So all that Sharaha Atma, meaning converge the entire Jiva Bhavana properly. Why? There is a goal, Lakshya. What is Lakshya? Brahma tad Lakshyam Uchyate. The goal is uniting the Jiva Bhavana, which is a notional presence born out of Tadatmyam, identification with the Upadhi. And it is a notion that I am separate from Brahman. That notion has to be removed, and that is the sadhana over here, the last sadhana, apramattena vedavyam, without any error, without any error, without any mistakes. Because in this path of treading the path of Brahma Vidya, little fall can derail us. And this little fall, Shurasya dhara nishita duratya durgam pathastad kavayo vadanti uttishtata jagrata prapyavaran nibodhata. And this Katha Upanishad used to be one of the favorite mantras of Swami Vivekananda. He used to say, get up and wake up, Gurudev used to say, not wake up and get up. Just jump out of the bed, meaning jump out of this plurality and then don't look back at it. Because this path is Kshurasya dhara, walking on a razor's edge. Very difficult. So, meaning, be aware that you don't fall. Be aware whatever thoughts, people, desires, objects are coming, nothing should tempt us. While we are on this sadhana, nothing should tempt us. And that's why Nachiketa passes all the tests of Yamadharmaraj. Tavaiva baha stavan nrutya gite. You keep all these things, I don't want anything. That's why, even in the Puranas, these people sit down to do sadhana, and Indra Bhagavan has to just send one Urvashi, everything is over. Bas. Bhagavan Vishnu himself, Mohini, it is enough. So in this way, that is why it is said, Apramattena, do make sure no Urvashi, no Mohini, even he arrives as Mohini, bas, stay away. This is very important. Apramattena vedavyam, keep this flame of Akhandakara Vritti alive, make sure nothing comes and blows it out. One little Urvashi is enough to blow it out. Anything, it's just an example, Pauranic example I am giving in different Puranas. So, our hidden, latent vasanas are enough to destroy us. That is what is meant. Apramattena. Be very careful. Outside things I can take care of. It is the inside tempting wind of passion, desires, which can blow out the candle on the inside. That is why apramattena vedavyam sharavattanmayot bhavet. Make sure this mind reaches its goal, sharavat, just like the arrow becomes one with the bullseye. This goal has to be reached. Goal has to be reached. Charaiveti, charaiveti, charaiveti. Move on, move on, move on. And become one with it. Pranavena hi abhyasyamanena samskriyamanaha tad alambanaha apratibandhena akshare avatishthate yatha dhanusha aste uttaranena hetutvena tatha cha shrutyantara tameva viditva iti mrutyumeti nanyaf pantha vidyate anaya iti shveta shvatare. So unite with one, again the same concept. It is said that pranavena abhyasyamanena, with this abhyas of pranava, samskriyamanaha, that mind which is kept purified, keep it purified. Do not allow anything else to destroy the purity of antakarana. And alambanaha apratibandhena, without any obstacles. And like I said, the greatest obstacle is coming from within. Our own obstacles from within. Raga, dvesha, abhinevesha, all these things will come out from within. And all these things are to be systematically conquered. So that is said over here, apratibandhena. Even there is a rasaswad to enjoy this avastha of tranquil mind. Even that has to be conquered, because then you will get stuck in the tranquility. Because the tranquility of the mind is still the sattva guna, and the sattva guna has to be transcended. That is called rasaswad. That is an obstacle in Brahma Vidya. Towards the end, this will come. Aha, so beautiful, silence mind, kitna quiet ho gaya. Even that has to be quietly just observed. Quiet mind is not Brahma Jnana. It is a sattva guna. Transcend that. So even people get stuck over there. So that is what is meant by apratibandhena. Reach this higher, reach this higher. Akshare avatishtate yatha dhanush. Okay. Ataha pranava danuha iva danuhu sharuhu sharaha hi atma upadi lakshanaha para eva jale suryadivat iha pravishtaha deha sarvabhauta pratya sakshitaya sasharaha iva swatmani eva arpitaha akshare brahmani ataha brahma laksham uchyate lakshaiva manaha samadit subhi atma bhavena lakshamanatvat. Again, Shankaracharya ji says the same thing, that this arrow of the antakarana, let it unite with the lakshya, which is the akshar brahman, and just like in a bucket of water, the water which is clean, the water which is devoid of any ripples, and the sunlight, when it falls on this bucket of water, the sun which is seen as a reflection, that reflection is pure reflection. In the same way, learn to see in the upadhi the reflection of the self, and then make a jump from this reflection to the absolute. Reflection is still a reflection. Reflection is not the end of the sadhana, because the reflection is trapped in the upadhi. We have to come out of the upadhi, meaning I'm using too many Sanskrit words. Upadhi meaning the reflection is still confounded by the boundaries of the bucket. In our case, the reflection is confounded by the boundaries of the mind and intellect. So, remove the boundaries of the mind and intellect and allow the reflection to merge to the source, where the entire reflection disappears because the mind and the intellect disappears, it dissolves, and in this way one reaches the highest. Suryadi iha pravishtaha dehe sarva bauddha pratyaya sakshitaya. It is the witness of the entire antakarana, and that witnesses the antakarana, but the witnesshood also has to go and merge into the higher. Sashara iva swatmani anye eva arpite akshare brahmani yata brahma. Offer the entire antakarana to Brahman, become one with the lakshya, and that is the goal. The goal is, do not get trapped in a silent mind with the reflection of the self. You may think you have reached, but that is not the goal. The goal is to offer the mind, intellect to the absolute self, Brahma. Lakshaiva manaha samadhitsubhihi atma bhavena lakshamanatvat. Again, words fall short of describing the abidance of the self. And he's trying to, Shankaracharya ji is saying that you offer yourself become one with this absolute. Tatra evam sati apramatena bahya vishaya upalabdhi trushna pramada varjitena sarvataha viraktena jitendriyai ekagra chittena vedavyam brahma lakshyam. Again, I have talked about all this thing, that withdrawing mind's attention from the outside world, taking it towards the inside, focusing on this one, senses which abide. So shama, dama, uparati, all these things have converged. Mind remains steady in that way. Tataha tad vedanat urdvam sharavat tanmayo bhavet yatha sharasya lakshaihi ekatmatvam phalam bhavati tatha deha atma pratya tiraskarnena aksharaihi ekatmatvam phalam apadayat ityarthaha. Attain oneness with the absolute. The phala, the fruit, is the oneness with the absolute. So these two mantras are called the pranava upasana. The upasana done with pranava, omkar. Om, 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 Om. But Omkar Upasana, one is initiated when the Saguna Upasana is over. Saguna Upasana has given the fruit of Saguna Ishwar Dhyan Darshanam. And we know it, that now the mind has become very quiet. That Totapuriji had to come and initiate even Sri Ramakrishna Paramhamsa from the Saguna Dhyan, seeing this Devi, Devi, Mahakali, Mahakali, and then he was taken into Nirgun, that even give up Mahakali, and she disappears. And he literally describes in his gospel, he saw the mother bursting and becoming just one. And his mind gave up that bhavana, became one with it. But then again, the body is there, prarabdha is there, everything is there. He comes and he looks at the mother, worships. But over here, Advaita Nishtha has taken place. So this is called Omkar Upasana, that initiation of coming out of even that one thought. But that one thought, the blessing of the deity itself, the Saguna Upasana itself, gives the fruit of moving on to Nirguna Upasana. So the Devi herself made sure that a Guru came and initiated him. And so many other people come over there, and he is not at all disturbed by anyone. Everybody comes to test Sri Ramakrishna Paramhamsa. If you read that, he passes all the tests. And that is, his avatar was to teach others. And he had come over there only to create a lineage of teachers. So his life exemplified that. And everything systematically he followed. We also have to do the same thing. Karma purifies us. Karma done properly prepares us. Saguna Upasana prepares the Chitta Ekagrata. the single pointedness of mind. And when that is reached, the blessing of the deity itself will take us towards nirguna. And this nirguna upasana, when we come to it, and yattada dreshyama grahyama gotrama varnam, we can use these concepts in mananam to clear out all our doubts. And the more doubts are cleared, the more mind becomes pure, the more mind becomes settled. Even our saguna upasana, immediately you will focus, we will be able to focus in our puja. Whatever is required will be done, and immediately we will enter the dhyan, meditation. That becomes our worship of the deity. And that worship of the deity, offering of the mind, the mantra becomes a background music, and then no unwanted thoughts come. And that is apramattena vettavyam. We have to cultivate this. The mantra should become background music. And once it becomes that way, this omkar, even the mantra stops. It just becomes silence. But that silence has to be we also have to transgress that. Because as long as I am there observing the silence, I and silence are two things. When I say, oh, it is so nice, it is silence, yes, I have objectified silence. So that is sharavat tanmayod bhavet, that silence is not experienced, we become that. Now, more mantras on just nididhyasan, and different examples are given. That's the beauty of Mundaka Upanishad. It gives different examples. Now, in the upcoming mantras, there will be an example of the chariot and the wheel of the chariot, and how all the arrows converge in the axle. In the same way, all thoughts converge in Brahman. And after it converges, again, beautiful mantra which paints the picture of that Turiya. Again, some of these mantras repeat. Now the whole Upanishad takes onto a very beautiful upasana of Brahman. We will continue this when I come back from India in January. I come back January 5th. I think I have everybody's email. I will send out an email. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.